I think we look at everything, like where some folks kind of miss the opportunity. I think is like understanding what is the true nature of the offer, right? When does the experience really begin? Like the way I say is, let's say that we're going out to dinner or on date night, right? Date night for me starts the moment I make the reservation, potentially when I go onto the Instagram account or onto the website. So what happens is people think it starts right when you step in the restaurant or right when you step into the hotel. I mean, shit, we've been planning this thing for months, if not weeks, if not days, if not hours. It doesn't matter. It's the moment that the experience and the narrative starts to what they remember a year later and what they're going to say to their friend. And I think a lot of brands and a lot of clients that we've helped like to see that all immersive kind of thought, because you get to like help people all the way through and make them brand ambassadors and to create a legacy versus just a one-off purchase. If you came to me and said, hey, we just want to sell a bunch of widgets this month and there's no like stewardship to it, there's no longevity, there's no storyline, there's no like being part of people's lives, that probably wouldn't be a good fit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters Podcast. I'm joined by Brady Lowe, who's the founder of the Taste Network. Brady has a ton of experience in the hospitality space, and he brings a different industry and niche to this podcast. I'm really excited to dive into it with him. He's also pretty excited and passionate about helping people find their story and the why behind what they do. Brady, tell us a little bit about Taste Network and what do you guys actually do?
The best part of our job is basically helping clients find, an audience, right? I mean, everybody's going through their life trying to decide, what our product is, what our offer is, who's going to buy it, who's going to trust me, who's going to come into my cycle, who's with me for a reason, a season, a lifetime, who's going to play with us, and who do we want to spend our life with? And usually we find clients who are looking for that next stage of growth, and then we kind of like get involved and say, here, we have a big audience over here, which I've built in 20 years. Can we help you integrate into this? It's very rare that we go out looking for with a client and finding an entire new blue ocean. Usually we operate within our hospitality, arena.
So who are your ideal clients? Like, who are the types of people that you serve? Are they people that own restaurants, or are they people that own hotels? Are they, people that work in that space? What's your ideal market?
So ideal market is going to be, I would say is basically when you look at clients within like a 800 to 1 million to 1.5 space per year annually. That's our ideal client. They have a big universe that they need to sustain, to build, and to continue to see like growth, right? So we like to work in spaces where, before I was a small mom and pop shop, like 20, 30, 40, $50,000 clients here and there. But we really do well when we start to see larger conversations with clients who have, like wine regions who represent about 450 wineries. So like imagine like a Napa and a Sonoma combined together. Like that's an ideal client for us. Another ideal client is a luxury hotel group who has, tens of thousands of rooms to keys to turn every night. And we want to look at like how can we help get more heads in beds and how can we help tell that brand narrative. But we're looking for larger clients, and I think now is an opportunity. We only get to hang out with a select few, and I want to help more people. So that's kind of where my excitement is now is how many people can I like help see grow with the tools that we have and we've shared with some of the bigger players.
So what's your secret sauce? So if people are, potentially interviewing you or another firm, or, what do you kind of hang your hat on in terms of what your value prop?
I think we look at everything, like where some folks kind of miss the opportunity, I think, is like understanding what is the true nature of the offer, right? When does the experience really begin? Like the way I say is, let's say that we're going out to dinner or on date night, right? Date night for me starts the moment I make the reservation, potentially when I go onto the Instagram account or onto the website. So what happens is people think it starts right when you step in the restaurant or right when you step into the hotel. We've been planning this thing for months, if not weeks, if not days, if not hours. It doesn't matter. It's the moment that the experience and the narrative starts to what they remember a year later and what they're going to say to their friend. And I think a lot of brands and a lot of clients that we've helped like to see that all immersive kind of thought, because you get to like help people all the way through and make them brand ambassadors and to create a legacy versus just a one-off purchase. If you came to me and said, hey, we just want to sell a bunch of widgets this month and there's no like stewardship to it, there's no longevity, there's no storyline, there's no like being part of people's lives, I probably wouldn't be a good fit.
Mm-hmm. What are, let's give us a sense of maybe in some way, shape, or form so the audience can understand it. Like, how big is your company? Either how many employees do you have? How many clients? What's your overall revenue? Anything you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Taste Network, 25 years old. For the first, 6 years, it was probably a $10,000 a month. Where's my next check coming from? And then all of a sudden, 2008 hit, and we had an economy trash all the business, everyone thing went silent. That's when I realized that we built like a machine called Push On by 5. And then my revenues went to like anywhere around $200K a month. So we took a huge jump from like $500,000 to about $2 million a year. And then we sustained that all the way through 2008, through, pandemic. So we were able to hold on to that. And, team size, we really kind of looked like, I loved having employees, but I got away from it. Like employees were were the death of me when it came to like tax, payroll, paperwork, there's just so much to go. So I started teaching everybody on my team how to become their own employee of their own company, which helped everybody's system grow and everyone became more independent. So I took a couple of years to do that. We saw another little quick boom in growth because that helped relieve some of the burden on the company. But I don't know, we probably have like 30 people rotating around Taste Network in a calendar year. Sometimes when we do events, we have upwards of 100. So it just depends on what's going on at what time of year. Right now it's slow, so it's like skeleton crew, about 15 people, 20 people on payroll. And when I say payroll, that just means they're part of the company and part of what we're building right now. So, this one last jump that I really loved was a couple of years ago. I really started getting into coaching platform and coaches. And I realized that if there was one thing I wish I'd done 20 years ago, it was like take 10% on every invoice and bill it back to the client for my own service fee, which would have been health, lifestyle, mental growth, and improvements. And I would just call that like my own fee. And then now I know I have 10% of every dollar that I made to be able to pay coaches. And if I started that 20 years ago, like I don't know where I'd be today, but we did that 2 years ago and we saw now another large jump. So now we're up at 3 million, revenue. So that coaching and mentorship has really paid off.
What are some sticking points right now that you feel like you're having with your business? What are some barriers you're trying to overcome?
Me as a bottleneck, I think is the fun one that, you can really talk to anybody and everyone, no matter how tight my buddies' businesses are, we always end up being a bottleneck of some way or form. So that's one that I'm always looking at. Finding time to improve what I know about my business and who's going to teach me the right things for me to build faster, grow faster, be smarter, and help others. that's really kind of like this next wave right now, and in doing such, also turning that around and trying to help others, for free. Like I don't need to charge everybody everything, but like if I can help someone, with 2 minutes of my time, it's an honor.
Let's talk about AI for a second. How are you using it, and where do you feel like you could be using it that you're not?
Fun question. So I create chat GPTs all the time. I love it. I think of it like a computer, right? Remember like old Apple or like first app, like we were 2006, 7, 8, and they're like, hey, you got an Apple, like it's too slow. Like, all right, you got these like memory slots in it. So now I look at every chat GPT that I build with 20 memory slots, and it's fun because you get to put all this information into it, and then you get to tell it what it is, what its role is. So you give it the information it works with, and then you have conversations with it. And that has been a game changer for me for AI, is knowing that you can build the agents that you want with the information that you want. So my hack is like, I'll take the best 10 books that I've ever read and put them into a GPT, if it's business or personal, and have a conversation with it. So it's like having conversations with authors of people that you really respect, but you can like literally have a full-on conversation with like 3 books mashed up in one. And that's pretty crazy. And then the other thing that I love about GPTs is like asking it the one question is like, hey, how would you rate me as a user? Am I beginner? Am I somewhat advanced? And the response was really good for me. Like I didn't think I would get such a glowing response. It does treat you pretty nice, but it definitely gave me like, you're very high level in how you're using it. So I use it for everything, and I coach people and I treat people to like GPT agents that I know, and like say like, let's say hey man, I got a bottleneck. I'm like, all right, take your text, take your conversation, feed your GPT, send you back the link, and I'll be like, dude, that's all I could get for you. And you're like, dude, this is awesome. So like that kind of sharing is how I like to use it.
Where do you feel like you could be using AI that you're not?
Around finances and some more business daily automations. So like a dream would be, you know, the mediocre tasks that my EAs do would be all be done and save them time.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like, how does Brady become like the EA GPT agent builder for my EAs, so their tasks get shorter and shorter and shorter, so they can spend more time helping me grow the business or communicate with the people that I want to,
Mm-hmm.
versus doing mundane tasks that are time consumption, kind of time consuming. So I think that's the one place. I mean, I built a GPT coach partner, so like all of our programs and projects for each EA is in a GPT coach. But I feel like there still could be more work done for, how to build like, silly tasks that take too long into a 1 second request.
What's one of the most interesting projects or clients you've done work for?
All time ever?
Or even recently, one that's on the top of your mind?
Recently, we just did a pretty unique sprint, which is actually still live right now. But we have a client, Food and Wines from Spain, big. They represent all the food and beverage products that come from Spain to North America and to the United States and all over the world, right? So they manage the marketing in 16 countries. They wanted to do like a month-long promotion in September. So not only did they come in and we won the award out of all the other agencies because we were able to position what we do and what we do great, but they said, hey, here's what we need. So we needed to create a website, social media account. We needed to build an entire CRM system, nurturing sequences, DM triggers for Instagram. So we had to put all these like integrations and Zapier's in place. We had 30 days to do this MarTech sprint. And we built it, launched it September 1st, had 100 accounts across the country who all gave away almost $200,000 worth of gift cards. So like the coolest restaurants doing Spanish food, the like coolest little retail shops. So we had 100 accounts running individual promotions, 20 different influencers, all dropping into this one campaign. So we had 30 days to basically get this thing up and running. I had to get the website team, the social media team, hire everybody, put everyone, smash them all together, get all these accounts rounded up with my squad. We get this thing up and live, and within 13 days, they had hit 10,000, then we got to 15,000 signups and leads, and then this entry page for Eat, Drink, Win Spain jumped in one day 10,000 leads, and we were on pace to do 50,000 for the month. So that garnered 100,000 impressions with a 25% conversion rate, which was pretty cool because that didn't exist 60 days ago. And to build something on that quick of a fly and that kind of result was pretty fun and stressful. But when you get into a stressful situation, it's a little cute, you know, it's like, you're like, all right, I can do it. But when it's your stuff and your stuff, you're like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. But when it's on deadline for a client, it's kind of fun because everyone acts a little bit different.
What's one thing we haven't talked about today that gets you excited or fired up?
Engagement. You know, I think that I've been geeking out on how people engage on social media. Like I'm in all these coaching platforms and everybody's either in like sell by chat or they're in a system of how do we understand what's going on in hospitality, what's going on in finance or fitness coaches. And the whole thing is like, how do you engage with people? Like, how do you get someone to respond to you? How do you like take them from somebody who, you know, knows you, start to like you, then they trust you, and then they want to buy from you? But what's that engagement cycle like? And I had no idea how this was all working, right? Like a couple of years ago. And then all of a sudden, I started realizing that when I go out and follow a restaurant or a bar or something where I want to participate at, I don't get any kind of response. I get ghosted. So I literally, like I'll stop by your guys' website and I like put my name on your website, crickets. I'll go to their Instagram page, love the restaurant, comment, like, zero response. I'm like, what's this going to be like when I come to your restaurant? Is it going to be the same thing? You're usually going to ghost me when I'm waiting for my check? You know, like, you know that feeling when you go to the bar and you have money in your hand and the bartender like literally doesn't see you, but you know he sees you because there's no way you're sitting at someone's bar and they don't see you because they like are busy, but kind of busy, but not really, really busy. And I feel like that's this whole ghosting experience that's going on right now. So I get really excited talking about AI, websites, social media, how brands are ghosting future clients and not even knowing how much money they're leaving on the table or how much opportunity they're leaving on the table by never like responding to their DMs or responding to their comments, likes, and follows. So it's just, to me, it's really like a missing space, and I just want to dive in and dig in and fix it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You know, I think about that a lot too. We advertise like two businesses across like 6 different platforms, and like I get a notification and it's like, hey, so and so commented on your ad, and I'm like, oh man, I can't even remember the login to the account. So, but I get that. Like that, it's really important. And honestly, a lot of our appointments have been coming just through Instagram. We just do direct messaging on Instagram, and it's crazy what a gold mine that is. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I saw the stat that it's like 80% open rate on DM Instagram and 20% on email marketing.
Yeah.
Like, why would I be sending emails? Just because it's, you know, the old chess game, you know, but like DMs, people are ready. Like they try, like they're there to have fun, you know, and they're spending money and, you know, they're doom scrolling, just looking for the next reason to like get involved with something. And it's a really unique platform. But yeah, I agree, man. It's like, I don't know, like I go to a restaurant and I DM and I like them and I get nothing. I just don't understand how that works. You know, like, can't you like at least take a second to look at my profile? I'd be like, yo, man, like, you do some cool shit with food. Looks fun. You travel a lot, man. Keep shining, have a good time. It's just this double compliment method. Like, we use it all the time, and people love being complimented. And don't ask them for it. I just like say, hey, what's up? Thanks for the 2 minutes that you took to like look at my shit. Like, let me just show you some love, you know? And it creates such a new, it's like compounding interest, I think, you know?
Brady, if people want to learn more about who you are and what you do, where can they go?
TasteNetwork.com is the website. And there you can learn about all the things that we do from projects and events around the country. The coaching platform Next 10 is there, but I think the best way to do it is to follow me on Instagram at BradyLowe75. And if you are in that spot where, you're looking for like that next step in the ladder, what your next 3 years are going to look like, I have that whole North Star visionary method and GPT agent that people can get for free if they just want to DM the word vision to me. So it's a great way to like look at what you're doing now, where you want to go. And this tool, like, I had a buddy the other day who's like, we were on our way to lunch. He's like, can you show me that thing on AI again? I'm like, all right. I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, I need to go from 6 million to 9 million in 2 years. Literally like holding the phone up. I'm like, dude, watch this. So we start talking to it. And we basically solved his whole solution and basically gave him something he could present to his boss. I mean, like, in that quick. So it can help like national sales managers build business and structures, but it can also help people who like have a $10,000 business who want to get to the next level. So it's fun,
Well, Brady, thanks so much for joining us on the show. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep chopping it up with you, but thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate you, man. I'm really glad we're here.